fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku. And well, you also did have Todoroki, Denki, Momo, and Jiro. Now, Deku, he bugged UA using his feathers. Shortly after this did happen, Tomura Shigaraki broke into UA, and amidst the chaos with the media and the students, tried to steal the plans for the USJ. However, there was a bit of a problem. Deku noticed the difference in footsteps, breathing, and, let's just say, the feeling of the air in the room. Now, because of all this, Deku knew that there was somebody in that room who did not match the teachers at all. Deku, he knows the feeling whenever a teacher enters the room. However, there is something off. He's never seen one teacher. He knows the feeling in their footsteps and, well, their breathing. Along with that, their shape and body. They're quite similar to All Might's. However, their breathing seems a lot harder. It's like they're a chain smoker or something. He's not too sure. Now, Deku, because of this, he encountered Shigaraki and was able to take him out, or at least stop him from stealing the plans for UA, or the USJ attack. Shigaraki basically flying through the villain's bar and smashing across the counter or into a table. Now, after some planning and trying to think about what could happen, these five, they've finally at least thought of something. They need somebody who can get into the League of Villains and be their spy. And who else would be a better candidate but an expelled Class 1A student? That being where they went to go meet with Maru Mineta. Now, we actually do currently have in Mineta's dining room of his house, where he's just sitting there and looking around at everybody. And we actually do have where Mineta's mother, she went to go leave, since this is the first time friends have ever been over at their house. How sad. Anyways, now, Mineta, he's just sitting there kind of confused, as he's just asking exactly why they've come to his home. And they're trying to, well, he's at least trying to ask if Mr. Aizawa realized he made a mistake with expelling him. Oh, no. He didn't do that. We didn't come here for that half pint. Half pint? Well, I was gonna say grape juice, but that's kind of worse, right? Grape juice. Yeah, anyways, we need your help. Huh? With what? Well, that's just the thing. What if I told you you could still be a hero? Huh? Okay, I don't understand. Okay, how about this? We all are heroes already. Or at least we are. Okay. Listen, Mineta. We work for the Meta Liberation Army. Do you know who they are? The who? Okay. Now, Deku will begin to explain it, as he does go to bring his hand up to his head and start talking, explaining to Mineta the entire thing, as there is whenever he's just sitting there kind of confused. But wait, you're their kid. You're the son of Hawks. Yeah. And Todoroki, you're the daughter of Endeavor. Yes, I'm well aware. However, that's exactly why we're doing it. Huh? What? Listen, Mineta, I'm not gonna get into my reasons with you, but Hero Society basically destroyed my family environment, destroyed my family life. I hardly ever see my father, and whenever we do talk or when he's at home, I'm trained in the art of using my feathers. He is around, but we don't really spend much time together. I more or less had an absent father. He was there, but he wasn't. He never saw a personal stake in it. And then there's my mother. Yeah, she's around, but even then, she's not really a responsible woman. She, at her age, still is out a lot. She's too passionate about her work, and that's the problem. She wants to keep up with my dad, but she doesn't even realize how much it's affecting us as a family. Hell, it's stupid. So, that's why we want to reshape society, where everybody can use their quirks or they don't even have to at all. Where it's not regulated as to what they can do in the Hero Association, yeah, they're not around anymore. Okay, I just don't understand. What's to stop me from just calling the police on you? Because no one will ever believe you. Huh? You're an ex-UA student, Mineta. Along with that, you're a pervert. You're a red flag to begin with. A red flag? Yeah, no girl at all would probably ever trust you if you stay the way you are. So, if a new society does get built, it depends on how strong your quirk is and the way you are. What? Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Change your diet, grow some abs, or even gain some muscle, respect woman, and, well, change your fucking personality. Maybe then, girls would actually like you. Huh? Wait, what? So I'm just a problem? And I'm looking at all three of the girls in the room, as they all do at least look at each other. Yes. Oh. Uh. Mineta, what if I told you by doing this you'd probably even meet a girl who would like you? And, hell, there's a chance that you could actually have a relationship with one. The Men Liberation Army has at least over 100,000 people in Japan. Really? Yeah. Hell, if it even does take that time, me and Denki can teach you how to at least start to respect people and carry a normal conversation. You've clearly never talked to another person for this long. You're an asshole. I know. That's because I'm honest. Huh. Uh, so what would I have to do? Hmm. Well, we can call somebody and figure things out from there. Now, Deku is going to stand up. As he does go to walk outside and call Redestro. Hmm? Hello? Yes, hello. This is Izuku. Ah, yes. How are things going? Things could be better. Yesterday, the UA incident. You remember hearing about it? Hmm? Yes, yes. It was believed that because of the media, the incident occurred. However, it didn't. You're correct. Whatever suspicions you might have had about UA, they never really released the official statement. I myself stopped the villain from getting into UA, or at least stopped him from getting out. We're not too sure how he left, but he got out without the information he tried to take. He may have looked at it, but that's about it. Besides, I'm pretty sure we found you a spy for the League of Villains. Hmm? Really, my boy? Yes. We didn't even think that far ahead yet. I didn't know if you did or not. It's a guy who's fairly easy to talk to. He has no experience with people. Along with that, I think that given some time, he might actually turn into someone decent. Hmm? Decent? He's a pervert with a bad diet and no social skills. So what do you think? Ah, I see. That's all you really have to say about that? Well, everyone is subject to change, are they not? That is true. So, send me whatever information you can, and I'll give it to him. Yes, I believe that will be fair. Now, Deku, he does get this information, exchanging contact info with Mineta, and then at least having Denki give out his as well. As he does inform Mineta that, for right now, he will not get the contact info of the girls, since he might try something pervy, or might just make them uncomfortable. Now, Mineta, he is that kind of sucks, but he does try to at least think. It's kind of fair from what he's hearing. This guy doesn't seem like a liar, so maybe he should take his advice. He's not really too sure now of anything. And that's the hard part. Now, with that being said, Deku, he does actually go to leave with everybody. And Mineta, within this time frame, he will actually start to train and do a few things. However, that's going to take some more time. Now, we actually do have where eventually Mineta, he would get in league with the League of Villains. And yeah, as that does happen, we actually do cut to a few weeks later to around a month. And things actually have somewhat been a bit of subject to change. At UA for the USJ, the attack actually doesn't happen. And it's very surprising. All Might he was there this time, since there was an actual villain, and UA was put on high alert. Now, All For One, he actually is very annoyed. They were going to attack UA on this day. However, the plan went sideways, and Izuku Takami is the one to blame. The boy with the wings. So, he has a few ideas as to what he wants to do. Since that boy and his quirk are going to be major problems. Now, with that being said, Deku and everybody else, they do participate in the sports festival whenever that does pop up. Now, whenever the sports festival does happen, this is how it does really go. The first portion, where it's the race, Deku basically does win. He flies the entire course, ignores the obstacles, and gets there in about a heartbeat. And Todoroki, she kinda knew this already, but even then, it was still very difficult. For everybody else, Deku basically just flew backwards, flew over the stadium, and continued the race. Aizawa, President Mike wanted to call that cheating, but Aizawa just called it ingenuity. Deku wasn't going to take all that time to break the ice. Where does that come from? Anyways, now, that being said, it was technically allowed. Deku finished the race in first, Ida second, Denki third, and Jiro, she actually had come up not too far behind. And there actually was Momo, who did actually place a little bit better. Now, there actually was then the portion where everybody they did pick teams. Deku, Denki, Jiro, and Todoroki. These four were all in a team. And there actually was whenever they did go up into the air. Todoroki, she just used her ice to blast off anybody who was trying to attack them. Jiro used her sound waves, Deku used his wings to keep them all up in the air, and Denki, he did actually show off his new skills, being able to be completely offensive, as he could blast lightning through his fingertips. It was very surprising to all of them. He's been getting better with his quirk. And there even was the combat portion, where Denki, he didn't lose to Ibarra because he was able to actually pull metal out of the walls and force it together to actually fly on it. He actually did win. However, when it did come to facing off against the other people, he ultimately did lose. And there actually was the portion where Deku, he did actually have to fight against Todoroki. She tried to stay in the ring using a bunch of walls and barriers and stuff like that, but ultimately she did get out. Since Deku just being able to bounce around and hop around, was able to smash through some easier ones and actually send her flying out of the ring. And Endeavor got very annoyed at the fact that his daughter didn't use his fire. And at the end of it, it was basically Deku in first, Todoroki second place, and I would say either Momo or Denki or possibly even Jiro in third. As that's really how things did go. And Deku, he was actually congratulated on his achievements. He was told that because of his insane moves and everything like that by All Might, that one day he'd actually make a very good pro hero. And All Might, he actually did go in to hug Deku. Now, when this did actually happen, Deku noticed a few things. Whenever All Might wrapped his arms around him and gave him a hug, Deku noticed that All Might's breathing was strange. It is softer, but it has the same rhythm as that one guy, who's super tiny. And there actually was where Deku brought his hands up to wrap them around All Might. He felt that he has some sort of, well, hole in his body. It's weird. If you didn't think about it and you didn't really hug him, then you wouldn't notice it. All Might, he may have an injury. Along with that, his breathing, he can only hear, he thinks, one side moving or expanding. Is he missing a lung? Damn. What happened to him? Now, All Might did pull away and congratulate the boy, explaining to him that he did very well in the sports festival. Huh? Thanks, All Might. So, do you think my parents would be proud of me? Of course, young man. Without a doubt. This being where All Might he does go to leap away. And Deku to just sit there frozen. As he does look over towards Todoroki and then go to look over towards the person in third. And they can actually tell that something's very wrong with that expression. That's surprise. And Deku does not get surprised very easily. Now, we actually do have where they did go back to Deku's house and celebrate his win. Somebody buying a cake and talking with everybody. As Deku, he does actually start to explain things. Right now, his mom, she took out his sisters. They're supposed to be out shopping right now and getting things to prepare an actual meal. Since Deku, he just came first place in the sports festival. And that's crazy. As Deku, he's explained to them that he felt like something is wrong with All Might. So, you think he's been injured? I think so. But it doesn't make sense. His breathing pattern is very similar to this one person I've felt before. And then there's his body. I heard him take a deep breath, but I didn't feel anything on the right side whenever I wrapped my arm around him. You didn't? No, that's the weird part. But I don't get it. I think, it doesn't make sense. If I'm right, he's missing his left lung. Uh, what do you mean? Well, it just makes sense to me. That would be his left side. It was on my right, so maybe? It's weird. So you think the number one hero is injured? But who would be strong enough to injure him? The guy's insane. Maybe. The only possibility I can think of is a pretty strong villain. But even then, the only other possibility I can think of is, well, Endeavor. Hmm? How would Endeavor injure All Might? I don't know. Endeavor's a strong pro hero too, still. But could it be he just blew flames in All Might's mouth and injured one of his lungs that way? It would explain the breathing problem, but other than that, I don't know. All Might wears that suit all the time, so we don't know if he has any scars either. Hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. We still have some time, so maybe we can approach the little guy tomorrow and find out. Hmm? But how do you know he'd even be at school tomorrow? I don't. That's the thing. If that old guy we can find, we might be able to tell if it's All Might or not. Probably even just by visible appearance or not. Hmm. That would make sense, Zuko. I know, right? But even then, why would my father hurt All Might? Your father trained you, remember? How could I forget? But even then, he wouldn't just attack All Might without a reason, would he? I don't know. Maybe after your failure, or, sorry, after he thought you were a failure, he just snapped. All Might kept the incident under wraps, and Endeavor just lost interest. That doesn't sound like him. He's very persistent. Hmm. So you think something else is happening? Yes, I do, but it's still a possibility. We can't just ignore it. Alright. So, let's see what we can do then. Got it. Right. Okay, but still, this sounds super crazy. You guys just can't think these two could be the same person just because of their breathing. Momo, it's not just that. It would make sense if he got larger and bigger, one of his lungs would get bigger as well. If All Might has some sort of body augmentation core, it could also explain why he is just so jacked all the time. But that wouldn't explain the super strength, nor his amazing speed. Yet those ones are still throwing me for a loop. It could just be pure training. I mean, my legs are super muscular and I can move at speeds sometimes unseen. But still, it's just, I told you, we don't have a lot of information to go off of. So let's find this out first and then we can go from there, okay? Yeah, okay. Maybe. Now, after everybody does get done celebrating, they do go to leave. As Deku, he actually would stay behind with Todoroki. And the two, they do hang out and have dinner with Deku's mother and his sisters. As Deku, he does just look across the table and stare at the empty seat. As somebody, they do come knocking. And Deku, he does just go to stand up and walk towards the front door. As with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. Catch you guys in the next part.